Here we go, put this miserable song on repeat. Cause you seem to forget how much you are hurting me. Do what's right, you say you will, but then you don't. You just don't. You don't care, cause you don't take me seriously. What's there to repair if you don't wanna talk to me? You should know your time is up, I'm out, I'm done. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. No, that's right. Your words don't mean a thing to me. Sleepless night, your love has left us incomplete. Thinking that your promises will fit so well. No, that's right. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and you no longer feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. You're on a lifetime sentence, so now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Cause I don't. So we thought I would let this stay. Thought you knew me so much better. Oh, so we thought I would let this stay. So I put you on a lifetime sentence, and now you never feel my presence. So we thought I would let this stay. Wait, I met this girl when I was 12 years old. Give her everything, just shot of the world. Gonna get a grip every time. I try to hold on, I slip deep in the feeling that gravity pulls me down. I know I'm tripping, I'm falling in love with the drum breaks. She keep me safe from the gunplay when I'm hungry. She feed my soul when I'm lonely. She keep me company. It's funny. I used to wanna grow older, travel the sight in these rhymes. So they realize that she got me out of my mind. I'm trying to kick these nerves to grab hold to the microphone. Got her nodding along. Maybe she'll save the world for me. Maybe she'll right my wrongs. If I'm coming on too strong, oh well. Only way to tell is by saying just how I feel, and that's real. You're something special for me. You got what I want, you got what I need. Yeah. You say that you don't wanna leave me. Yeah. I need your vibration. It's all that I want. Yeah. It's all that I need. I know I'm crazy. It's been a while, but it's silly brunch. Can I shine? Feel like everything might turn out just alright. I know I'm lying to myself. Pardon my wishful thinking. Still fly from head to trinkets. Afraid of blinking. Can't even miss a second of the blessings. I'm living messy. Like every minute is a gift. It's a pleasure. Let's get together. Let's spin us and smooth forever. Wait, pick up your mood. I know I lack the direction. Skipped on class and a lecture. Busy trying to get it together. Something clever. My notes are tethered to the reckless behaviors with good intentions. Smolder incense for riddance to negative energy. Let peace, love, and serenity spill for me. None of it is me. Truly told, and the real is me. How I let feelings go so loosely. Murder the goose beat. Shout to mills on the cool keys. Ooh, she's feel like the cool breeze. Near the ocean tide, from the coast to the globe wide. With an open eye and a smile, feel like everything might turn out to be fine. You're something special for me. You got what I want, you got what I need. Yeah. You say that you don't wanna leave me. Yeah. I need your vibration. It's all that I want. Yeah. It's all that I need. I know that I'm crazy without you. What up, what up, what up? What's going on, folks? Let's get into it. Shout out to the CIA. Hi, you guys liking the new setup? We're trying some new things. Toying with the lighting a little bit. So do me a favor. Before we get started, go ahead and put your name, age, and your city in the chat room. Name, age, and city in the chat room. Can you guys see me well? You like the camera? Oh, let me turn on the main light. I don't have the main light on. So check out the lighting, and then I'm gonna check this light out. I'm about to turn on the main light. Check this out. Got a little bit more light to the front. Jeffrey Sapp, what's going on? Brian, 43 out of Chicago. Bailey, 38 out of Troy. Allen, 35 out of San Antonio. Edmund, 36 out of Buffalo. Eric, 46-year-old out of San Antonio. 40-year-old Amanda Bailey from Houston. 39-year-old Ernst from Montreal. 41, Orlando. Travis. All right, so we got a lot of millennials, late millennials, and Gen X is in here. All right, so you see the title of the stream. Where is that at? Oh, that's it. Get that out of the shot. You see the title of the stream. Love this candle right here. I love that. All right, you see the title of the stream. Are you ruthless enough to win? Are you? Are you ruthless enough to win? Young Kevin, I know you, Young Kev. You had a great freshman year.
Before we get into it, I want you guys to look at some stuff for your Godfather got for you. So you see how we represent in the evening. I think every man needs to have a nice velvet blazer and a statement pair of glasses. So I'm gonna show you guys a few things real quick. You guys have probably already seen these, but I want you to just see the comparison and contrast. What happens when you change just change the frame color, the lens color. Look at what that does for this look. Can you see that? That simple change of lens color just changes the game. And it matches the amber kind of yellow tones I got going on in here. Hold up, we just getting started. Another great way to take old frames and add new life into your wardrobe is change the lens color. Ready? From red, orange to yellow. My frame game is going to be second to none as far as when it comes right down to it. You're going to be able to say, man, my Godfather got some dope eyeglasses. I expect GQ to be calling me 10 things that I can't live without. Video coming soon. All right, so you like that look? But I love this next pair. This pair right here is just life. And all of them are converted eyeglasses and sunglasses that I converted into opticals. The black James Bond, that's right. Black up here, tortoise down here. As my birthday's coming up, so I decided to do a little something, a little pre-birthday. This is from the brand Chrome Hearts. Look at the ornamentation on that. You know what? Let's do better. Let's see. Don't focus on me. Oh well, it's not going to pick up the ornamentation. Darn it. But anyway. The sides with... Nasty. Just nasty. That's a whole conversation right there. You're just sitting somewhere in your suit, nice white shirt. It's a whole conversation right there. Oh, I love your glasses. Gotcha. Frames, fragrance, footwear. I'm teaching you guys the secrets of the Godfather. All right. You can't catch focus that close. Yeah, I'm learning, man. So, this is why I couldn't get nothing. So, you guys liking the new setup? This is my, I like to paint. I'm not very good at it, but I like to paint anyway. It's my easel. I use this to help put my shoes on. Warby Parkers? No, brother. No. I don't believe in cheap-ass frames, man. Warby Parker's cheap. You're gonna put some. Over here. We pride ourselves on our frames, our fragrance, and our footwear. We invest in that. Those are Chrome Hearts. These are Jacques Marie Mange. Hey man, more on that later. So what I want you guys to ask yourself is how many guys can be honest with me, and you can tell me The light is dim, man. I actually had it dimmer than that, man. How many of you guys were actually raised by your mother? You were raised by Mom Dukes. And this ain't a shot at Mom Dukes. You know, I was raised by my mother. But how many of you were not raised by a strong, dominant father? No, Ray-Ban's cheap too, man. Sorry, Ray-Ban is owned by Luxottica. And I've owned Ray-Ban. I got a lot of different brands, man. 80% of the eyewear market is owned by Luxottica. And just trust me, you're paying for a name and you're not getting the quality. If you're raised by your mother and you didn't have a strong father, go ahead and put a one in the chat room. Because one of the things that so many of us young men got from our mothers who loved us, who did the best they could, we have a problem. Our issues of structure, consistency, and discipline. But more than anything else, men who are raised with strong fathers always have an unusual amount of fear in us. Why? Because we weren't raised in a competitive environment. We didn't get bloodied early. We didn't get the chance to go out and fight in the playground and do all the stuff that a lot of other boys who was out with the Boy Scouts and, you know, hunting and fishing and mountain climbing and shit like that with your father. We didn't get that. So a lot of men out there today are physically man, but internally you're a boy. And here's where it shows up. I talk about confident, intelligent, and assertive. Many guys cannot assert. And why can't a lot of guys assert today? Fear. Fear is what stops 90% of you guys. That's why a lot of guys are so cheap. That's why a lot of guys don't book consults. That's why you don't do a lot of stuff. It's fear-based thinking. It's fear and scarcity. And that's what is women think. Women are more programmed to worry about that kind of stuff. Men are builders. We are the guys who have to take risks. Well, guess what? If you weren't raised by a man, your tolerance for risk is going to be far lower than it should be. The thumbnail for this screen says the one thing that separates, are you ruthless enough to win? It's the one thing that separates the alphas from the betas, the winners from the losers. Want to know what it is? Let's take this trip. How many of you guys have ever played poker? If you played poker, put a P in the chat room. If you played poker, put a P in the chat room. Poker is a great game. It's complex. There are certain amounts of card combinations. There are a certain amount of odds. There's a certain logic to playing poker. But at the real high levels, at the real high stakes levels, you're not playing the odds. You're playing the man. And in a game of poker, there's a move in there that's the elbow, the glitch in the game. It's called the bluff. For a bluff to work, your opponents must think you have them beat, so they fold. They don't go to the end of the game. They just fold and say, you got it. If you've ever played poker before, you know what I'm about to say. Sometimes the luck's with you, sometimes the luck ain't with you. Sometimes the cards with you, sometimes the cards aren't with you. But there comes a time in every poker player's life that he's going to have to go all in. Going all in basically means you take all the money you have and you bet it at one time. There's no more betting and calling and raising and this and that. You basically say, I'm going all in. You betting it all on one hand. It's either this or nothing. It is the most aggressive move you can do in poker. And see, it's easy to go all in when you're sitting on a four of a kind, four aces and a king, It's easy to go all in when you got a royal flush or ace high straight, or if you have some outrageous hand, it is easy to go all in. But what about if you barely? But what about if you don't have a lot of money left? It's also easy to go all in. You ain't got much to lose. If you are one call or raise away from you, if you're one hand from being out of the game, you go all in anyway because you got no other options. So when you have a fantastic hand, it's easy to go all in. Oh, so when you're rich, it's easy to go all in. But what about when you're poor? What about when you're broke? It's also easy to go all in. But you guys are in the middle. You're middle class guys raised by mommy. Name me a time you've ever gone all in your entire life. Because here's what it means. In any time in business and in life, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to bet it all. You're going to have to bet it all, and you're going to be bluffing. Uh-oh, I'm about to teach tonight. There comes a time in any great businessman's life that he's going to have to bet it all, and he will be bluffing. He'll go all in, and he'll have only a pair of fours. But he will be playing the game like he has the highest hand. Why? Because it's at that moment the game is either going to be won or lost. You know as a player that if you do not win right here, you're going to lose slowly over time. But if you win right here, you can make a run. How many times have you ever gone all in on your career, in your life? I've told you several times where I've moved like that. I've taken opportunities like that. I've moved. The difference between winning and losing is the ability to go all in. And it takes a ruthless mind, a ruthless mentality to go in, all in, faking it, bluffing, and playing the man. See, that's whole thing, fake it till you make it. See, we get it twisted thinking fake it till you make it is just you're gonna pretend, you're gonna lie and pretend until it becomes a reality. No. Fake it till you make it means this. Sometimes you're gonna have to go all in and bluff. But when you go all in and you win, you get a lot of money. You get all your chips back. Now you're back in the game. But now you gotta play. See, one of the things I noticed with guys who don't take any chances in life, you play it safe. You never go all in. Yeah, you may never. Life is never too high, never too low. You like Goldilocks. This is too hot. This is too cold. This is just right. You just right here your entire life. Everything is average. Everything is content. Things that come out of your mouth is I'm good. The best woman you ever have is a 6. The best car you ever have is an Altima. You make $40,000 a year for the rest of your life. You're good. But then you see guys who are out there and they seem to be getting outsized results. They're not as smart as you. They're not. You're more intelligent than they are. You're smarter than they are. You're a better person than they are. But you're not getting the results. And the reason is you're not ruthless enough. You don't have the balls to bet on you when the odds are not in your favor. Hit the goddamn like button. I need to see some donations on this thing because honestly, this is a high-level corporate game. I know that 9 out of 10 guys on the other side of this camera have never gone all in on anything. You have never seen a smoking hot dime piece and you just stepped to her and said, "Ooh, I just had to come over and introduce myself. I'd have kicked myself out and come over there." You didn't do it. You sat there and you let that woman walk on by. She gave you choosing signals, looked your way, and you just let it go by. And you died inside. Little by little, I talk to you guys every day. I coach with guys every day who are not living their best life because they are too afraid to go all in. Too conservative, too scared, too afraid. See, the problem is, if you've never, this is why I said, guys, the primary rules between men are fighting and fucking. And a lot of you guys need to go to the military. You need to go become a man. You need to go to the military or join martial arts and do full contacts where you get punched in the face. You know who you are when you're in combat. Combat reveals a man. How many people know what I'm talking about? Type me a time where you actually went.
Paid. Praying gesture.
I want to know, thank you. I want to know a time in somebody's life where you have gone all in. All in. I'm serious. Where you've gone all in. Where you didn't leave it up to chance. See what happens when you guys don't go all in? You leave it up to chance. You leave it up to somebody else. That's what happens. You leave it up to somebody else. And next thing you know, it's like, well, dang. Well, I hope I get promoted. Well, I hope I did the right thing. What do you do if you knew you couldn't? What would you do if you knew you couldn't lose?
Priceless information right here.
I don't know what you mean, but there's no game to see. That's why where the competitiveness comes out. See, when you go all in, it's an aggressive move. When you go all in, not when you don't. See, it's nothing. When you got all the chips, you don't want to go all in. You got too much to lose. Or when you got nothing, it's easy to go in on those ends. But when you go all in the middle, early on, the sooner you learn how to go all in, the better. Let me tell you how I went all in. Let me give you an example of how I went all in. I've told the story about how I quit my job as an engineer and started waiting tables at Papado. Why did I do that? Because I hated what I'd done. I hated it. I had worked 3 internships and I had a career in engineering set, but I looked at the path forward and I said, the next 20 years, I can do this for the next 15 to 20 years, and at best, I'll be in middle management. I don't want that. So I walked away from a $45,000 salary back when minimum wage was $3.35 an hour, and I went to wait tables. Everybody told me I was nuts. But you know what? I knew and believed in me. I knew that I could make money waiting tables, and an opportunity would come along, and I knew that I had the balls and the intelligence to be able to vet an opportunity when it came by. No opportunity was going to come by while I was working at mobile. I was in an office, in a cubicle. But when I'm in a restaurant, there are hundreds of people circulating. I bet on me. See, this is why a lot of you guys fall behind and you lose to the guys that have game. Or you wonder why Stacy keeps going with Chad. It's because Chad has the balls to bet on himself. He has the balls to go all in. When you go all in,
good work.
Appreciate it. When you go all in, even when you lose, you win because you conquer fear. Fear holds you back. When I went all in and bet on myself, I ended up getting a job within 6 months in telecommunications, and by 2 years later, I was making twice the money I was making as an engineer. 5 years later, I was making 5 times the amount. And I have story upon story upon story about when I was in this deal or I was in this sales process, and I'll give you an example. The last company I worked for, no one sold new business. And if they did sell something, they would sell $200 or $300 worth of new business. $1,000 sale was big. I went to an auto dealership who was running a $2 million ad budget, and they wanted to cancel their account. This was Yellow Pages sale. They had a little ad, and they wanted to cancel it. And the conventional wisdom here was just try to get them to keep the ad. And I went in and said, they're in the auto business. And I went back and said, we had a particular line of products. It was an SEO product, And it was perfect for them. And I went out to this person who wanted to cancel their ad, who we had screwed them up in the years before. And we owed them credits. I got all that stuff fixed, and I went out, and you know what? I presented this new program to them. To the point where they're like, huh, it was a $500, it was a $300 a month ad. And through the course of the conversation, I got them so excited about this SEO product.
And I spent 287 days on the road traveling. I made President's Club as the #1 billable consultant.
Appreciate it. I went from almost a $300 cancel that they would just like process and keep moving. But instead, I looked and I was like, wait a minute. I went back and I brought them back 2 proposals. One was for $20,000 a month, and one was for $50,000 a month. I don't know if I could give you a scope of how unrealistic that was from the industry I came from. People didn't sell $5,000 in a year. And I went and proposed a $300 customer a $20,000 a month internet program from a Yellow Pages company. And the long and short of it was a deal they couldn't refuse. They signed the deal. It broke the commission plan. And the way in which I went after this account became the model for which they decided to try to go after other people, except they weren't me. I have a track record of being able to look at an existing product or service or an existing something and then rejigger it and come out and have extraordinary results. Why? It all started from going all in back when I quit my engineering job. What would being ruthless enough to win do for you? Because see, what it is you cannot go all in and be tender. You got to be ruthless. You got to be willing to step on people's toes, be offensive. You got to be willing to take on the competition, put your emotions to the side, get amoral, pragmatic, and do what it takes to win. Can you do that? Can you do that? This is the reason why you see some guys on Wall Street making millions of dollars and you see some guys who get fired. What is the difference? Ruthlessness. My favorite period in history is the turn of the century robber barons, the Astors, the Rockefellers, the Carnegies, the Morgans. Back in the days where Teddy Roosevelt was president, the trust buster, yes, I love that time in life because, like it or not, business is about profits. And business left unchecked leans towards monopoly and collusion. That's why you have to have capitalism is the best form of government we've come up with, but you have to regulate commerce or else it will strangle the thing. But at the end of the day, CEOs in this country are little kings. Bill Gates is ruthless. Mark Zuckerberg is ruthless. Look at the Pirates of Silicon Valley and look how ruthless Bill Gates was to Steve Jobs. Look at how ruthless Mark Zuckerberg was to the twins out at Boston College. Are you ruthless enough to win? The men who made America, that's the thing. Are you ruthless enough? Are you too worried? And here's the thing. If you're not ruthless, you won't win. Not big. You'll be stuck. I hear a lot of guys talking a lot of shit. But in order to get where you say you want to get to, it's going to require you eating a certain amount of shit, working with people you don't want to work with, shaking hands, kissing babies, you're going to have to do a lot of shit. And then you're going to come a time when you're going to have to go all in and bluff. I mean, I don't know how many. I wish I could have a little GoPro on me sometimes. Even in Atlanta, I've been to 12 private parties since I've been here. And the first 4 of them, I just walked in. 2 of them, I didn't even know were private parties. I just walked in like I belong. I go all in all the time because I expect to win. I expect where I go, I expect people to like me. I expect the best. And I manifest it, even in bad times. It's not always that way, but more often than not, things tend to work out. J.P. Morgan, Thomas Edison was ruthless. Go study the war between Edison and Tesla. See, you guys better go study business and realize that all this game and all that other stuff, personal development, you need a coach and a mentor. Life is outside of your house and outside the bedroom. I don't want to hear shit about how many bras you can mac down or how much sex you have it until you're telling me that you are dominating your career. You are ruthlessly attacking your industry. You are well known in your career. That's what men do. Relationships and women, I love women. Love them. I don't. On this channel, we don't hate women. Women are a part of the plan, but they are definitely they're an accessory. All right. Act as if. Let me change. Hold on just a second. That's right. Act as if. Act as if. Act as if. This is where we're going, baby. I brought my consultants back in. I just finished talking to my videographer. Look, man, I realize a lot of times the guys look at me, they're like, I can't relate to this dude. He's always in a suit doing this and that. Trust me, I will do what it takes to win. So you're going to start seeing some changes on my channel. I'm going to start letting my personality show. You've already saw the Will, the Beast, of the Lion show. I'm pretty goddamn funny. Your Godfather's a pretty funny ass dude, man. This is our Bible, gentlemen. You see how frayed that is? 48 Laws of Power is our Bible. What are our colors? What's our color? What are our colors? Our color is gray. 48 Laws of Power is our Bible. Our color is gray. And our mascot would be Tywin Lannister. Now, personally, I like to wear a lot of black and white, but black and white together make gray. And yeah, I just changed jackets. Why? Because I fucking felt like it. Do you enjoy your life? Let's talk, man. See, one thing you can say with your Godfather style is, even on 50, I don't carry it like I don't carry it like a lot of other 50-year-old dudes, because I'm still out here. I'm still out here. I'm in the game. I need you guys to understand something. The life starts after 40. From 21 to 30, you need to have your head down, eating as much shit as possible. Your head down, eating as much shit as possible, putting in 80 hours a week. 80 hours a week. 40 to 60 hours that you're getting paid for. You need 20 hours in mastery and coaching. Deal with women 3 to 5% of your time. From 21 to 30, you need to have your head down and you need to have a plan and a goal. You should have been promoted 3 times by 30. Account executive, major account executive, district manager. If you have not been promoted by 3 times by 30, you're fucking behind. 3 times by 30. Account executive, that's your first job. Major account manager, that's your second job. Major accounts or senior accounts. District manager by 30. It means 3 years as an account executive, 3 years as an account executive. Then you get promoted to major accounts. 0 to 3 years as an account executive. 3 to 5 years, get promoted as a major account. And for major account, senior account, you stay there 5 years, or 5 to 7 years and get promoted to district manager. By age 35, you should be at a regional manager, director level, or fast track to VP. You don't have time to be out here playing goddamn games. You don't have time to be out here on Tinder, swiping left, swiping right, running in after all these balls. Man, you got that shit to be done. And see, the thing is, when I was out in corporate America, I was out Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. Sunday nights, I didn't go. Monday, Tuesday. I was out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I did all that. Plus built a great career. You didn't work harder than me. So what we gonna do? Lefty says he's way behind. So what you gonna do, man? What you gonna do? You're way behind. And everything that you want in this life requires money. Coaching and consulting is the let me say this again. Who's a business owner? Who is a current business owner right now? Do we have some sort of sign like other fraternities? No. I may come up with one. But yeah, I call it a fraternity. I said that on Instagram. I call Instagram the frat house. Yeah. Tywin Lannister is the mascot. I'm gonna come up with a brand, a shield of sorts. Yeah. Michael Jamal, if you're a business owner, understand something. Everybody that owns a business knows their craft, their product or service. But then there's also a business component that lies outside of your skill set. Unless you are like myself and a master in corporate sales and marketing, you need to have a consultant come in. See, so many small businesses fail because they refuse to hire consultants. So many men fail because you refuse to hire consultants and you get taken. Okay, just starting off, time to catch up. Business here. Business, okay, well, I want to know the name of the companies that you're consulting with. SAS Business since last year, following Glenda Cameron training plan. I want to know who's your consultant. Because you better believe that top companies, Fortune 2000 companies, do not make moves without contacting their consultants first. The CEO of these organizations don't just do shit. They bring in the consultants. And the consultants come in and guide these companies. All right, let's talk. That's cool, but let's stay on topic. I need to know how many of you guys have hired a consultant. How many of you guys have hired a consultant if you're business owners? How many of you guys actually have a career? If you're not a business owner, how many of you guys have a career? A career. See, I expect men to have careers. Whether they're white collar or blue collar, I expect you to have a career. A man is what he does. I left my job. I left the job I had for 10 years, switched careers, returned to school at 42. I hired a marketing consultant for what? Who is this? I do, but it's blue collar. Well, then you should know what it is. It's never too late. Yeah. I invested thousands in 2 movies yesterday and today. I don't know what that means. No, Frank Underwood is not going to be our mascot. No. Tywin Lannister. For a very specific reason. Power. If you have a government job, why don't you become a government contractor? See, here's the question. What is it going to take to get out of your job and make it a career? What's it going to take for you to get out of your career and make it a business? This is how you should be thinking as a man. I got a job. What's it going to take to turn this job into a career? Now I got a career. What's it going to take to turn this career into a business? You got a business. What's it going to take the business to the next level? I guarantee you this, you don't have that skill set. I guarantee you this, you don't have that skill set. Because you don't know everything. The best CEOs are those CEOs that gather the best talent and let the talent do what they do. Small business owners try to do everything under themselves and on the cheap. And that just shows you're not ruthless enough to win. You go in and bring in a consultant, eat bologna sandwiches. Eat bologna sandwiches. Eat sardines. Give yourself a pay cut. Bring in the professionals. Understand something. You see the videos I put up, and now you see the new setup because I'm going to be making more content right here. Understand something. I went from editing my own videos to having somebody edit them for me in Pakistan. It charged me anywhere from $10 to $20 a video. The person I just brought on, it's going to cost me several $100s per video. Several $100s per video. So would you go from $10 or $20 to $400 as a business owner? Would you do that? Would you go from doing something you could do for yourself to paying somebody an average of $15 per video to do it for you? Would you do that? Okay, and if you would do that, would you go from paying them $15 to $400? If you would make the $400 move, that's your cap. That's your cap. See, in any business, it's not the person who knows the most. It's not who's the smartest. It's who's the best business person. In order to win big, you have to be ruthless and savvy. You don't have to build the best mousetrap. Let me tell you something. In business, more often than not, they steal your idea. More often than not, let's be real. More often than not, Bill Gates and Microsoft is perfect for that. Hell, Mark Zuckerberg, he stole somebody's idea and turned it into a business. Ray Kroc and McDonald's, that's the business way. If you have a product or service that you're good at and you are the subject matter expert and you don't take that business to the top, a smarter, savvier business person is going to steal it from you. And they should. They should. Shame on you. If you are the subject matter expert in widgetology or in making widgets and you don't have the business savvy or the ruthlessness to take it to the top, a smarter, savvier, ruthless business person should come and take it from you. They should steal it from you in your face. And what are you going to do? Stand on the sidelines, wiggling your finger while they have become a billionaire. That is the story of this country. That's the story of this country. Go look at the founder. The McDonald's brothers did not want to do what it took to make McDonald's great. Ray Kroc partnered with him. They were stifling him, so he went around them. He played in the gray areas, and he went straight time and Lannister on them. Microsoft, Bill Gates did the same thing. Gentlemen, this is what it takes. If you're good at something, you better be a savvy business person or partner with savvy business people, because the better, the more profitable it is, the more sharks are going to come to it. Sometimes you're going to just have to sell out because you can't compete. Because here's what tends to happen. When you have a good product or service, somebody tends to come to you and tries to partner with you. But if you are a person who cannot work with others and have a track record of not hiring consultants, you are going to lose. There's stories about that over on YouTube right now. And it doesn't matter if you have the best argument if you didn't win. The rich neighbor scene in Pirates of Silicon Valley is a perfect example. Yeah. Oh, I made a better product. I make a better product, or I'm the originator of this, or I did that. Hey man, the McDonald's brothers got all upset. Understand what country you're in. How can a songwriter and musician treat himself as a business? The art get looked at as a hobby. I want to invest into coaching and image consulting. Well, I don't understand, Jeffrey. There's singers, there's songwriters and musicians who are businesses all day long. See, that's the problem with so many creative types. You're good at creating, but then you get pebbles. Somebody comes along and puts you in a shitty contract and gets rich off of your labor. That's why you hire a consultant. You pay now, or you get taken later. The company I work for refused a business deal in the past. The opposition took them to court and kept them in discovery as long as possible, so they legally couldn't practice business. Exactly. I would. If you think, and even as a small business, you do business that way. As a small business, you don't argue back and forth with vendors and suppliers and customers or whatever. You send your attorney after them. If you do business with people, do business. Kevin, what is your personal definition of success? What you would use I don't know what that means, Reese. I don't know what that means, and it really doesn't matter. You need to have your own definition. See, one of the things, you young guys ask too many questions. You ask a bunch of questions without any results. I would say stop asking so many questions and start getting out there making some mistakes and coming back with some data. There's nothing more frustrating for a person who's a mentor or an advisor or a coach to sit there with somebody who just sits there and asks you question after question after question after question, and they don't have any work to show. See, let me tell you, the worst way to approach a business person, especially somebody like myself, is to write me a long goddamn email or tell me everything that you want and need. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to read that. I'm not going to take my time to read your 3-page email. You want my attention? Buy my services. Don't tell me how broke of a student you are and how good of a guy you are. That's not how you do that. You don't go into Neiman Marcus or Saks Fifth Avenue with that bullshit. Don't come at me that way. Approach like a business. You want something? Buy a service and ask your questions there. But then that would have to mean you were serious. You'd have to actually do something. That's why I stopped giving out free consultations. I don't give out free consultations. I don't really give out free advice. When I do these live streams, I talk very topically. I'm not going to answer anybody's individual question. Why? If you were serious about it, you book. Here you go. You serious? Here you go. Here's what you do. Book a coaching session. You want some career advice? There you go. There you go. Career advice. The overall best thing to do is book a consult. See, that's why I love doing business. Money separates the real from the fake. If you ain't willing to pay for it, don't ask. That's the way I look at it. I never asked anybody in the business world who knew something for something that I wasn't willing to pay for. Even today, when I approach people who are larger than I am or people who can do something for me, I look at how I can purchase their products or services or benefit them. You want something for nothing or you want it for cheap. It ain't gonna happen. So let me go ahead and throw this reality bomb out to you. If you're not willing to put in the 80 hours a week, if you're not willing to eat shit for the next 10 years, if you're not willing to go into $10,000 worth of personal development debt when you're making $12 an hour. I mean, I made $35,000 my first year in sales, and I took $5,000 and invested in myself. $35,000 is roughly $17.50 an hour. $17.50 an hour. So if I was making $17.50 an hour and I took $5,000 off the top, if you're not willing to do that, get off these streams, get off these channels, stop hanging around spaces that just make you feel like you're an entrepreneur, and just make peace with the fact that you want to be in the middle. I'm not insulting guys in the middle, but honestly, guys in the middle have no need for an energy consultant. They have no need for a coach, a mentor. They have no need for it. But then again, they have no need for a personal chef, a nutritionist. They have no need to have an attorney on retainer. They also don't have need for a stable for a horse or a place to park a boat. They don't have a need for a country club membership. They don't need to fly first class. They don't need reservations at the nicest restaurant. They go to, Applebee's. I mean, what do you want out of this life? But you cannot want lobster and caviar and you're not willing to put in that kind of money. Yeah, you can't play if you don't have the chips. And see, one of the things I had to learn when I started live streaming is I had a consultant come in and say, man, you're giving far too much information away. And I was like, I wanted to defend what I was doing, but I shut the fuck up. You know why? Because I paid him. I'm not going to sit here and argue with him. I paid him. He said, here's it is. You probably feel like you're investing into a marketplace. Or it's like what you're really doing is you're talking to a lot of people who would never buy from you. They would never buy from you. They may like you, but they are not going to buy from you. And if you stop doing what you're doing right now, they would find someone else to fill up the time. That was a hard pill to swallow. You really don't matter to them. You're just a distraction. Now, the people who would buy from you are going to seek you out. They're going to make contact, and they're going to make contact generally through purchase. 99% or 90% of my clients have never commented in a chat room. 90+% of the people who buy from me have never commented on a video or in a chat room. Never. I ask, how'd you find out about me? They don't. So the people who follow and watch, they're not. You may be interested, and you may donate, or you may be a patron, but that's not a customer base. So as a business, I understand that when I do this, this is a way of people to get to know about me. But I mean, you're actually talking to your market. So why am I doing it? I get value out of actually practicing and teaching. I reinforce my message. I'm building a brand. But you don't give away quality information because the people who pay for my services, I'm doing a disservice to them. If they got to pay $849 for an hour with me and I give it to you for just asking a question in the comment section. Now, that bothers a lot of people. I have guys who will go around YouTube, Kevin is da 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 da, and I'm like, dude, you're looking for a reason to be mad. Young men, the world has told you that it can be easy. Nope, it's not easy. It's not easy. Eating shit for 10 years, you don't deserve anything. You don't deserve anything. Your mother, your father got you out of high school. They kept a roof over your head, food in your stomach, and kept you generally safe. You're 18 years old. You are nobody's responsibility. Good upbringing, bad upbringing, daddy wasn't in the house, whatever the situation is, you are responsible for yourself. If you don't have the fortitude or the balls to actually get out here and compete with us in the world of the white collar world or the blue collar world, my suggestion is you go to the Army or Navy. Because out here, you are food. The lions got to eat. Sharks got to eat. I got to eat. Go to if I suggest, I talked about the power brokers, the power class. I'm going to add something on. Power brokers, power players, power production. But we also need power through our military professionals. I wouldn't suggest Marines for the majority of people. Nope. Neither would I suggest the Air Force because they have the most stringent standards. Again, I would say Army or Navy, and I would probably, if I had to do it all over again, if I wasn't going to go to college, I'd go to the Navy because the Navy appeals to me from a personal standpoint. I would be able to go see the world just going to all these different ports. You know, being on that ship, I really ain't too cool with that. But these ships are so big, and I also understand a lot of interactions that go on these ships with all those different ports of call in the world. I'd get a military 5 years. I would leave high school and I'd go straight there and I'd give them at least 5 years. Come out at 23, 24, and you're a man. Or if you decide to give them 10, stay in and do your 10, you come out with some sort of certification. I don't know all the shit behind it. Talk to a military person. But you also come out with the badge of honor of being in the military. I would do that before I would get out here and start trying to go to get in corporate America because you're going to need multiple skills to compete out here. And guess what? You don't get more ruthless to being a soldier. Because on the battlefield, when this killer be killed, you really start to find out who you are. So, you like the setup. So, here's the thing, guys. For my young guys, so my guys under 30. Well, actually, my guys under 25. My guys 18 to 25, you're going to see a change in the kind of content. I give my guys from 18 to 25 more leeway, more running room. 18 to 24, I'm sorry. 18 to 24, I give you more running room. Almost like you're my nephews. I'm thinking guys 18 to 24, almost like my nephews. You're going to make more mistakes. You can ask more questions. And the content's going to reflect that. I'm going to start making content for younger men. I'm not making content for men my age. If you're my age and ain't got your shit together, that's your problem, man. By 30, you should have your shit together. I said you should be promoted 3 times. If you haven't got your shit together by 30, I'm an image consultant. What you want me to do? I'm a lifestyle coach. In the day-to-day world, you couldn't contact me and say, hey, help me find myself. Now, on the life coaching side, there's something, but you got to be, the thing is, in order to do that, you have to have the money to pay for that. So 18 to 24, I'm going to start addressing my young guys from 18 to 24 and 24 to 34. I'm going to be focusing on 18 to 34. 70% of my content is going to be, or 60% of my content is going to be 18 to 34. Women are going to be in there too. Still a man's channel, but women are going to be in there too. So, understand this. You're going to see far more women on the channel. You're going to see women in the comment section, and you're going to hear it directly from me. I want them here. I want FBI women here. This is not a woman-hating zone. We love women over here. You heard that come from me, right? So if you're not with that, eat the meat, spit out the bones. But what you're not going to do is not going to come over here and try to paint no ma'am across my channel. Women shouldn't be in this space. I never came to YouTube for that. I never came to social media for any of that shit. I came to run a business. And women were a part of the business I started. And women are some of my best customers because their boyfriends and their husbands go. And quiet as it kept, 80+% of you guys out there have already contacted and said you want to be in a committed relationship. I know a lot of shit guys say on these streams, but shit, I actually talked to men one-on-one, and 80+% of men want a relationship. I'm gonna just say it like the consultants told me last year. MGTOW, as a market segment, is a poor market segment to sell to because it is a scarcity mentality that leans towards minimalism and hyper-frugality. You cannot make a profit selling to minimalist or frugal people. That should make common sense if you talk about men's fashion and style. If people are minimalist and frugal, there's nothing to be sold to them. And then when they talked about the red pill ideology, the red pill ideology, as Glenn Cameron even talked about on his Disruptive Male channel, the red pill is what brings the toxic kind of things, the hatred, the anger, because so many guys are in different stages of red pill growth. And what happens a lot of these times is guys will come into these spaces and all want to talk and get it out of their system, but at the end of the day, they're not making any transactions. So you don't see any businesses growing around selling to MGTOWs or Red Pill. You may see individual platforms, but no real growth industries. Like I asked the question a couple of weeks ago, name me the business that makes its primary money by selling to, and we couldn't answer that question. I'm a businessman. I'm an image consultant. I didn't come here I may have my beliefs, but I also have my religious beliefs. I also have my political beliefs. I don't talk about a lot of that on my channel. So that's why I said, you won't hear me talking much more about that. I am running a business. So you're going to see 18 to 34. You're going to see women over here. The channel right now is about 12% women. That number is probably going to jump up around about 40. In order to get my channel where I want it to be, the women are going to have to be here. You don't get a channel with 1 million subscribers with all men. It just doesn't happen. This is a young white male platform. It's what it is. It's what it is. You don't try to make the platform. See, this is part of being ruthless. See, I'm ruthless enough to make the changes. I know that people are like, oh man, don't do that, bro. You're going to sell us out. Before you say any of that to me, you're going to have to tell me. First thing I say, I'm going to look at your name and say, when was the last time you purchased from any of my products or services? If you never bought, don't talk to me. I mean, on a business tip. Let me explain. Oh, we need guys like you to stay true to the cause and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And don't do this, and the women have representatives, da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay. I'm going to look at all that, and I'm going to say, all right. Stream elements. When is stream? Go to my database. Stream elements. Customer search. 0. Okay. Patreon. 0. YouTube Super Chat. $1.99 9 months ago. What kind of weight should I put to that person's comment as a business decision? If they've never purchased a product or service, which is where I make my money, Patreon is a donation. Love it, but it's a donation. I think you understand that. If they're not a patron, especially a long-term patron, and if they super chatted once, should I make any? I want you guys in the chat room to tell me, what would you do as a business person with that person making a comment? Would you allow that person's comment to register and sway your business decision? If there's no provable track record that they're really going to buy your products and services. What are you talking about, Ed? Loyal to what cause? Yeah, that comment holds no value. And here's the thing, Ethiopified. Those are the people that, shout out to Glendon Cameron, 2 years ago when my channel got shadow banned, they were 90+%, no, not 90. They were the majority of the comments, conflict and chaos. A noisy minority, but at the end of the day, now here's the thing. Many of them had said, I know your business. I followed you for years. So you understand everything I'm talking about. You follow me. But in years, you've never, not even been a patron? True. Don't have to. But I'm not going to. So basically, that's it. And like the other day, O'Shea did a show with Obsidian. Should women be allowed in the manosphere? And Erica Williams was the top donor. A woman was the top donor in a stream entitled, Should Women Be Allowed in the Manosphere? I'm going to tell you something, man. I've never been anti-women. Never. What I am is I want people to, I'm about outcomes. I'm about outcomes. But any message, even an image message, has to be tweaked. When I hire a consultant, they come in and say, man, you love to wear your suits and everything else. That's your image. But a more relaxed, casual approach would go over better with a younger demographic. You can still be suited and booted, but this will go well, especially if you're going to be going on Instagram. Now, on LinkedIn, now, I would be a plumb damn fool to pay good money and say, well, no, I'm going to make younger people accept the fact that no. No. Now, you ain't going to catch me in no Jordans and a fitted and a jersey, but you can fuck that. No, I'm not going to sit around and, that's why I say speaking to younger men is a different way to speak to men who are 25 and older. I can't expect a 16 or 18 to 24-year-old man to have the wisdom and maturity of a 40-plus-year-old man. They're younger. See, being able to take advice and adapt accordingly is a level of ruthlessness the average guy doesn't possess, because he would feel incongruent. He would feel like he ain't real. Psh, fuck that. Appreciate it, Tyron. So, Instagram is going to be a huge part of my offering. There'll be a podcast I'll be doing with Roxy. On Wednesdays, it's going to be Wednesdays I'm going to be addressing women. And it'll probably be in a podcast kind of format with Roxy. And because I just like that. I'm doing that because I like it. And it's a great way to bring women into the platform. Now, as far as styling and doing image and things like that with women, I don't think so. I don't really want to style women. Women I've done it before. That's how I started my business. I'm styling men and women. Different animal. I want to focus my business on serving men. But there's going to be a segment of women, because there's a segment of women that come over here looking for you guys. There's also a segment of women who come over here and bring their boyfriends, their husbands, boyfriends, significant others to help them get themselves together, because guys just aren't really that attuned to image. Then there's also a group of mothers who want to help their, fathers and mothers, or mothers that want to help their sons. So you think I'm going to have this place as a toxic environment for women? No, not if you bringing me business. Now, what it's not going to be is I'm not going to pander. Because I said it on somebody's channel. If I wanted to have 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, I could. All I have to do is go completely blue pill and just start go pro LGBT talking points. Living in Atlanta as a heterosexual man, if I went completely very blue pill liberal, boy, please, with my personality, charisma, no. I style women in college. I've styled them, but the thing about styling women is, one, I realize that many times the women will hire you as a client and they really cross the line. I've had women that tend to want to mix business with personal, and then as an image consultant, I have to talk about outcomes and hard lines, and some women just cannot take the truth. I'm like, it's not my fault. I didn't make you be 300 pounds, but I can't make designers make clothes for you. And I cannot help you get the outcome you say you want. You can't get that, and it's not my skill set. And then if I have to turn and say, here are what your options are, getting upset, oftentimes it's just not something I want to deal with. Nor do I have to. And I will say, ladies, more and more people are stopping dealing with y'all. So y'all might want to check that.
Salute.
What's going on, Patrick? Now, the LGBT route, I mean, understand something. I don't have anything against the LGBT community. How could I? I mean, let's be real, guys. Do you think I could be a man in the men's fashion and fragrance business and have a problem with the LGBT community? I mean, come on, man. Really? My business? Fashion? Fragrance? I'm in the minority. My favorite designer, Tom Ford. Now that don't mean that we're gonna go out to dinner with him and carry on. I've never really had a problem with those guys. I want to see younger, and here's what I want from my younger guys. I want my young guys to just give it a chance. Give it a try. A lot of young guys don't trust older men because they have, particular issues with older men. Just try it. Just listen and try. And that's from 18 to 24. I usually get 18 to 24-year-old guys. They're usually pretty open. It's the 25 to 34s that are the real, they're the sticklers. And the 25 to 34, at 25, all the training wheels are off. The world is judging you harshly now. And at 25, a lot of guys realize they're not where they should be. So they're under a lot of pressure. So, but this is also at the point in time in your life where you are prone to make the most mistakes. This is the time, this is the 10 years where you're prone to have a child out of wedlock, enter into a marriage you should not have done, or stall out your career. If you can navigate 25 to 34 successfully, the rest of your life is set up well. From 35 to 44 tends to be the trouble part about that is the guys who tend to be in a little midlife crisis. If they did not navigate it well, we're dealing with the remnants of not handling it well, or if they stalled out, we're handling that. Rarely do you have somebody 35 to 44 who's handled life well, who's combative and difficult to work with. These guys are usually coming in for just a little tweak. They honestly tend to be your easiest clients. The guys who are 35 to 44 who handle life well, these are the guys who just go into the dentist for a quick checkup and a cleaning. They're in and out. They're easy to deal with. Women, 18 to 24 is the easiest to deal with. 25 to 34, the most pressure-filled years. 35 to 44, they're easy to deal with too for some reason. But it's like, for women 45 plus, minefield. Because usually a woman 45 plus coming to me has not handled things well. 9 out of 10 times single. And for however it is, they've driven their life into I don't want to say a ditch, but off the road, and they have not had a demonstrated track record of being able to listen to, they have not had a demonstrated track record of following good counsel. So unfortunately, a lot of times 45-year-old plus women tend to want to come here. They tend to come under the guise of wanting to hear real information, but what they really want is somebody to co-sign what they've already chosen to do. This is some of the women Rebecca Lynn Pope were talking about why she no longer is a matchmaker. Men 45 plus in the same position, completely easy to deal with. Completely easy to deal with because these guys are past the middle age point in life. They're like, all right, man, I got another 25 to 35 years on this planet. I gotta make something shake. I don't have time to waste. I'm 45 years old. Let's go. Let's get this done. They're much like, put me in, coach. What I need to do. Much easier to deal with. Derek says my topic's been on point this year. Keep firing away. Well, you can thank my patrons. When you guys hear me on the streams going forward, it's going to be. You guys remember Roxy, the Miss Olympia. I like doing shows with her. I like doing the shows where I have her as a co-host, and then we have people calling in, men and women. That's going to be a regular format on this show. I will do a live streams, but they're going to be short. This is a long one. When I do a live stream, they're probably going to be about 30 minutes in length because I'm going to a different format. Surprise. Different format. But this is just more of a free flow talk. So how many people are actually watching the show right now? 21. All right. Here's what I need from you guys. My birthday is coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to actually I'm getting ready to head out to LA at the end of the month for MIT, Men in Training LA. If you're interested in coming to MIT LA, this is the final weeks to go ahead and pay and attend. It's a 3-day event. 3 days in LA is going to be fucking fantastic. I don't want my MIT events. They're always going to be intimate affairs. You know, anywhere from 7 to tops 20 guys. I don't want big events. Not like that. But I have had guys ask about meetups. And I don't know if I'm going to do that. But in fact, guys ask about mentoring. That's it, mentoring. If you're interested in being a mentor, mentorship with me is through Patreon. You get 2 mentor calls every other week, 20-minute call every other week, and all you have to do is join at the assistant director level. Damn good value. You stay as long as you want, leave whenever you feel like it. And somebody asked me about. I've also been asked about group coaching. Here's the thing with groups, guys. Group work works well after you've done some one-on-one work, because coming into groups, guys tend to just kind of hide. Let me wrap this all back into the program. Wherever you are in life, men, gentlemen, the world is rough. And if you are not tough, if you don't possess the fighting skills, if you don't possess balls of concrete and steel, if you don't have a strong backbone, a solid jaw, if you don't have intestinal fortitude, you are going to be food. Mama made us soft. No one's going to give you any sympathy. Any sympathy. Money is funny. The world's not going to give you any sympathy. Because your money can't be funny and you only got one job. I don't listen to a guy who says that money's funny and they ain't putting in 80 hours a week. I just don't. I don't listen to a guy who says your money's funny and you're not putting in applications everywhere. Over here, you hear a lot of talk about raising standards, but I think you guys need to really ask yourself some real hard questions. Who am I? And what kind of man do I want to be? And start putting some hard lines. By what age? What do I want to get accomplished by age 25, 30, 35, 40? Because far too many guys, man, you're living behind. You're living this life just day to day, check to check, just doing shit. No plan, just out here or read in the wind. And men, I'm telling you, it is a very dangerous way to live for a man. Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta run. It's getting late. Ruthlessness, man. Ruthless. See, ruthless is not always a bad thing. Most times you think ruthless is guys being under or being negative. We think of being ruthless is negative. Ruthless is practical, pragmatic. Go to Game of Thrones. There's a scene called the Red Wedding. Tywin Lannister ordered the murder of some of his biggest rivals who were kicking his ass. But in order to get that done, he had to violate guest rights. And his son was like, "You violated honor." He's like, "So it would have been better to kill them all individually at a later time? They were all in one place." He's like, "You worry too much about what people think about you." The lion does not concern itself with the opinion of the sheep. That was some cold shit. But see, you got to ask yourself, what are you? Are you an apex predator? Are you a wolf? A lion? Panther? Tiger? Eagle? These are ruthless animals. They don't. You think an eagle cares about what a snake or a bunny thinks? They just go get what they've got to get. What are you? I talked about on Instagram. I'm not a lion. I'm a panther. If you don't understand how the lion panther story goes, a lion. I used to want to be a lion. Lion is the king of the jungle. That has all the imagery. I mean, a tiger is bigger. But most men want to be lions. How many guys do you see who have pictures of tigers as their avatar? But you see a lot of guys, especially a lot of black men, a lot of B men, a lot of BMs got lions. And I ask you a question. Where in your life are you living life as a lion? Where you're the alpha, where you're leading, and most guys aren't. You got to know what you really are. I wanted to be a lion because I thought it was the majestic, powerful, this and that. But everywhere in my life, I was never the alpha like that. I was always taller, longer, thinner, leaner. And without going into long history, I did a vision quest twice, actually. And my spirit animal came back being a panther. I was disappointed. I was truly disappointed that I wasn't a lion. I wanted to be a lion, but I was a panther. But when I started studying Mahjong Longhorn, Northern Shaolin Kung Fu, I learned something about a panther. That while the panther may not be the biggest, most powerful cat, it is the most balanced of all the 5 animal styles. Snake, crane, tiger, panther, dragon. Panther is the most balanced of the 2 external, 2 internal styles. Tiger, dragon, crane, snake, panther. This is a panther fist. And as I started learning panther punches, see, with tiger claw, you grab. Tigers are just straightforward aggressive. They just run and grab what they want. They don't have to worry about anything. Because nothing can really take down a tiger. But a panther has to be smarter. You can't punch a jaw with a panther fist. But you can do a lot of damage to soft parts of the body, especially under the arm, the groin, pressure points. You do more damage with a panther fist than you could ever do with a tiger claw. So I started studying panthers. And here's what I found out. The panthers, leopards, are very intelligent. They're savvy because they cannot overpower their prey like a lion. They have to hunt. Thinking first. They just don't charge into battle. I never have been a guy to just charge into battle. I think. And then I attack. Now, a lion runs into a panther on the prairie, and the lion is assuming, and the panther can't beat the lion one-on-one. But the lion don't want none of the panther either, because even though it could kill the panther can hurt the lion. But here's the funny thing about a panther. A panther can take down the same prey that a lion can take down. But there's a difference. When a wild dog takes it down, or a cheetah takes it down, or any other cat takes it down, a lion will tend to come along and snatch that prey from the other animals. Let that animal do all the hunt, and then they just take it. And the other animals just sit back looking at the lion, yipping. Not that panther. Not the panther. The panther says, all right, king of the jungle, I can't beat you in a straight up fight, but you don't want none of this from me, because while you may be this, I'm that. What does a panther do? A panther goes and kills a gazelle because he's faster. You go kill an antelope or whatever. But instead of eating on the ground where everybody else eats on the ground, what does a panther do? He'll drag his prey up into the tree. And here's what happens. Here comes Mr. Lion, Mr. King of the Jungle, Mr. Alpha Apex Predator. And he's smelling all that freshly killed antelope ass. Blood all over the place. And anybody else, he'd have punked them and took their food. Now, the panther's sitting up in the tree just eating, chilling. And here come the lion. And he looking up in the tree like the panther, like, this motherfucker. Can't stand that old panther, motherfucker. Old smooth ass, black ass panther. God damn, look at him. Muscle tones all cool and shit. Man, I got the big old mane and the claws and the pride and shit, but damn, that panther cool as shit. And this motherfucker up here eating, I'm hungry as a bitch. Man, you lucky you ain't on the ground. I'd fuck you up. I'd take your shit like I take everybody else's shit. But you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm the king of the jungle, bitch. I'm the alpha. You not. I'm the... Then he tries to get his big ass up in the tree, and guess what? Fall down. Try to climb up in the tree. Fall down. And the panther just sit up there eating, laughing. You dumb motherfucker. You can't climb up here with me. Come on, bitch. Come on. I'll get you. And he's just out of reach. And the lion standing all up in the tree, just licking, trying to catch a little blood or some shit. And the panther just sitting there like, yeah, what's up, king of the jungle? Bad motherfucker, huh? Whatever, nigga. I'm going to sit on up here and I'm going to eat some more and eat some more. But see, the lion either has to do what? He's either going to leave and go try to find an easier meal. But sometimes the lion just a pissy bitch. He just sit down there and I'm just wait till you come down out that tree. And then I'm going to kick your ass for making me sit here and watch you eat. Oh, so you mad because I hunted better than you? And you couldn't steal my shit? Okay. See, the panther's smart enough to know that sometimes the lion doesn't leave. So instead of eating all of the meat, the panther will leave a little bit of meat on the carcass. And what will he do? He'll force the king of the jungle to make a choice. He'll kick the carcass out of the tree, and it'll go that way. The king has to make a choice. Either take the little meal over here, or the panther goes that way. Or try to chase down that panther who's just eaten and full. Now, he's hungry. He's full. Lion has to decide whether he wants to revenge on the panther for punking him, or he wants to meal. What does the lion do more often than not? He takes the easy meal, because even though he may be pissed at the panther still can fuck him up too. He probably still beat the panther, but he got to catch him first. But he's got a full belly. He's got energy. He ain't. He running on a full tank. And if he run after the panther and he don't catch it, what's going to happen? Them wild dogs or whatever going to be, and took that shit. So what does the lion do? Fuck old panther ass, punk ass. And he go over there and eat the last little bit of chicken off that bone, and the panther run on off that way, Another time, just looking good, gone up into the bush. See, I'm comfortable with being my animal. I'm comfortable who I am. I never will be the lion. But being a panther is some cool shit too. What are you? Make peace with what you are. Find out what's good about it. Don't try to be something you're not. Be the best at what you are. Who are you? What do you want to do? It sounds like, yeah, I mean, that's true, man. Think about it. When I was a young guy, being a pretty boy and everything else, dudes be mad at me. Why you think I learned martial arts? I'm like, you may be bigger than me, but I know how to fight. So you ain't gonna get no free wins. See, you don't have to be the biggest, baddest cat in the jungle. You just got to make sure dudes don't get no free wins off of you. Stop trying to be something you're not. If you're not a lion, stop doing lion shit, trying to hang around lions or running up in prize and shit. Man, be a panther. Be whatever it is you are. Don't be a goddamn wildebeest. But be whatever you are. Just make sure whatever you are, there ain't no free wins off your ass. Even if you're a hippo. Hippos are fat, ugly, lazy, or elephants. They're not, but man, you don't get no free wins off elephant. Don't be prey. Be whatever you are, no free wins. All right, let me see. What's going on here? Street life. All right, so see, I think I answered all the questions. Guys, appreciate it so much. I got to get out of here. Sinus is starting to back up on me, and I got a little something coming through here anyway. It's almost midnight. All animals fear hippos, man. Hey, man, believe it or not, everything in its place. Be a honey badger. See, 5 Animals Kung Fu made me realize that a snake, crane, panther, dragon, tiger, all have their place. Then there's monkey, there's mantis, there's eagle claw, there's drunken, there's all kind of things. And what you realize is you have respect. There's no one style is better than another. And the ultimate thing is the highest form of martial arts is to not have to fight. It's the best way not to fight. The lowest form of martial arts is to have to engage. However, if you must engage, punch with bad intentions. I don't.
Thanks, bro.
I don't fight because if you do have to get into combat, I don't believe in being restrained. If somebody gets you to, put it this way, if somebody gets me to a point where I have to physically defend myself, I'm going to go all in. And I will be justified. So it's just best, and if you have a reputation, and people know who you are or can kind of read or judge, take it. I'll do a broadcast one day on learning how to not have to be right and learning the benefit of being correct and living to fight another day. Animals in the wild survive by not having to do combat. I can fight. Yeah, I mean, I can. I used to fight full contact, Sanshao Kung Fu. On the weekends, I fought full contact until 42 years old. You're new to the channel, but I used to actually be a bouncer. Man, you need to know how to defend yourself, man. Every man needs to know some sort of martial art. to mastery. Let me tell you, and I say this, let me tell you why. You want to be out here and be a CIA man. You want to have money and beautiful women and all this other stuff. Great. You're out with your beautiful lady. You're at a nice place, and a dude walks up and grabs her ass. Say, "Damn, you got a fat ass. What you gonna do? Wait for security to come to defend you? She gonna look at you like, what you gonna do?" No dude should ever be able to come up and punk you. You whoop his ass because he disrespected you by touching your girl. See, there's too many guys today let men disrespect you because you cannot defend yourself. Most dudes that do that kind of stuff just are hoping that they're banking on the fact you're not going to do nothing. But if you have the confidence to know that you can defend yourself, even if you lose, you win. But if you do nothing, you lose. You will lose that woman. And you will beat yourself up. Isaiah said a bouncer. Yeah, when I used to tell my buddy I was a bouncer, he thought I was joking. Until we went to the club one night, and we were sitting there. We came to the club. We were by the bar. He's like, dude came up and said, "Kevin, oh man, what's up?" Dapped me up. He's like, we start calling other bouncers over. He's like, "Man, this is the dude I was telling you about, man. That thin dude. This motherfucker's cold, man. One time he just war stories, and some of the cops came in. Yeah, man, I remember this one time that you did because I would snatch a motherfucker up out of there quick. I wasn't playing that bullshit. And my buddy was like, and this is a good friend of mine. He's like, "Man, I gotta tell you, man, I know Kev, yeah, you probably work with him." He's like, "But dude, man, this dude ain't nothing to be fucked with. I thought I knew some shit, man. I wouldn't want none with this." And you got all these big ass swole up dudes. And it's funny when somebody knows you or they think they know you, but they don't know that part of you. Like my best friend from childhood. He knew I was into martial arts. But I wasn't a dude that was going around practicing and shit and kicking walls and all this. I didn't show off around people. It wasn't until several years after college that he came to the Big D tournament, the Big Dallas tournament, and watched me fight. He, my mother, and at the time my wife. Now we'd known each other for about 7 years, and David had never seen me perform or fight, and went to college together. He talked a lot of shit to me, and there were times where he would want to get up in my face, and I was like, whatever. He was like, "God damn, dude, I knew you said you knew taekwondo, but I didn't know you like really knew this shit like real good." Like, he's like, "Dude, you could have fucked me up a lot of times, huh?" And he started thinking back. He's like, all the times I talked shit to you and jumped up in your face and you just let it slide. He's like, because when you're fighting full contact, it's 6-ounce gloves, no foot pads. You're going either to submit or knockout. Submit or knockout. Yeah. So it was funny to watch somebody who think they know you and they watch you. You would talk about having some of the best sex you ever had. Let the woman you're dealing with see you whoop a nigga ass, whoop a motherfucker's ass, knock somebody out. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Like, man, you could have fucked me up, huh? You could have kicked my ass. I'm like, yeah, I didn't. All right. You win a lot, man, by actually becoming good at fighting for yourself, because that's a confidence no one can take from you. Why do you think I can walk around with a bag that crossed me with something? This is gear, dude. With that pink. Remember that pink outfit I had? The pink joint, the pink tuxedo jacket. It's a level of confidence that comes along with knowing you're a man on your terms. You don't need another man to validate you. I mean, you've been validated by other men, but you're a man on your own terms. You're a panther. You know what you are. That's one of the best gifts you can give to yourself, man. That's why we start out with confident, intelligent, assertive. Till next time, talk at you later. 5 more likes, right? 5 more likes. Let me give myself a like. Peace, y'all.